Why do you bother with school when you will end up in your husband's house? Shouldn't you focus your energy on learning how to cook? See, don't get married. It will disrupt your education. Don't have kids. They will tie you down. There's no way you can do it. You can't have it all. These are words I have heard all my life. And these are words I have ignored all my life. Because I realized they're just that, words. And I stand here to tell you that you can indeed have it all, whatever all means for you. See, all I wanted was to have a purpose, to achieve something. And I realized very early on that in order to achieve, I needed to ignore those words and focus on the action. And one of those defining moments came while I was in the university. I decided to get married in my 3rd year of university. I was 18 and I had met the love of my life. But I also wanted to graduate top of my class. And so the balancing act began. See, at 19, I found myself sitting in an exam hall, writing my final exams, and fighting. But I wasn't just fighting to graduate. I was fighting through contractions. I was 9 months pregnant. But I was determined. And my friend once said to me, she said, Aisha, if you give birth here, just write your baby's name on the script. One of you must graduate. But as my back hurt, as my hands and my feet ached, I pressed on. I wanted that first class. And people would say to me, why did it matter? Me Zafi. But that degree, it wasn't just a certificate to me. It was my ticket to a future I was determined to claim. And I was also determined to prove to all those people who had opinions on how my life should unfold that I could have it all. See, one time, someone asked me, she said, Aisha, why don't you just go and sit at home and be Oga's wife? You would enjoy whatever is handed over to you. Even my lecturers, just as I was about to get married, they called me to a meeting. And they said, Aisha, you're so smart. Don't get married. It will disrupt your education. And I was shocked. I was shocked because prior to that conversation, it never occurred to me that it was either or. That I had to give up one to attain the other, like it was a mutually exclusive choice. Come on, I said I was getting married. I didn't say I was dropping out of school. But you see, I had a vision, and I stood by my vision. And I gave birth to my baby a day to graduation. But the next morning, I walked up that stage and I collected my certificate, first class degree in economics. And that degree, it didn't just become the foundation of my success. It landed me a job at one of the biggest consulting firms in the world. See, at 22, I was making presentations to ministers and to presidents. But I sit back sometimes and I think, why was I expected to choose between my ambitions and societal expectations? Shouldn't we be building a world where women are supporting women, where men are breaking the barriers and encouraging women to thrive, where we realize that in our society, everyone has a role, and the society becomes better when we encourage everyone to achieve their purpose? Picture this with me. You have a wife that is 9 months pregnant, about to give birth, and you walk into the hospital and all the gynecologists are male. How does that make you feel? You have a 16-year-old daughter that has a gender-sensitive issue and she has to explain to a male doctor. She has to be examined by a male doctor. Picture this again. At the height of the Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria, at the entrance to every school, hospital, market, or mosque, there were security checkpoints. Now you're with your mom going to the market, and a male officer has to pat down your mom simply because society believes it is wrong for women to be in the armed forces. simply because as a woman, you've been conditioned to believe it is wrong for you to be in the armed forces. Imagine the history of northern Nigeria without the contributions of Queen Amina. Zazzau would probably not be one of the greatest Hausa kingdoms. Imagine the history of Nigeria without the contributions of Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Her struggles enabled women to vote. Think of the contributions of Amina Mohammed at the UN, shaping climate policies, or Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who cleared Nigeria's $12 billion debt. Under her watch, Nigeria became the first African country to pay its debt and exit the Paris Club. What if Zainab Al-Ghali never wrote her groundbreaking novels that put northern women out there? What if Gambo Sawaba never fought for the rights of women? What if Barimani Chuege never sang her songs? Because they were not just entertainment. They were a call to action for women to take control of their future, to claim their future. And you see, these women, they didn't just succeed, they changed the course of history. And they did it while being wives, while being mothers. So I ask you today, why does society believe that the only way to empower a woman is by opening a small business for her? What if a woman's interest lies in science, in education, in medicine, in art, in public service? Why does the society judge women for daring to break free of expectations and for wanting to claim their future? And whenever I say this, people say to me, Aisha, we've heard you. We want it, but how? Today, I'll tell you 6 things that have worked for me. Number 1 is to define your purpose. What do you want to be? Who do you see yourself? See, whatever it is, you need to know that this is what you want to do. And I always tell people, you can redefine what it means. Today, you can redefine what it means to be a carpenter. You can be the CEO of a henna company. See, school is not scam. If you want that PhD, go and get it. See, right from SS1, I knew I wanted to be an economist. And in SS3, I wrote JAM, and I applied to 2 universities. You know the process. And I made high scores, and I applied for economics. Now imagine my shock when the first choice university offered me accounting. I was like, no problem, I have a second choice. And I went to the second choice, and they wouldn't give me admission because they were nobody's second choice. See, I could have gone back and taken that accounting. There's nothing wrong with accounting. I would get a degree. But no. I camped at the JAM office for 1 week until they changed my universities. And then I reapplied and I got my economics. This was how much I was focused on what I wanted to achieve. And I was willing to fight for it. So just because it doesn't come easy doesn't mean it won't come. But you have to fight for it. Remember, your potential is what you make of it, and articulate it. Today, write it down that this is who you want to be. Hang it in front of your dressing mirror, put it in your bathroom. Let it be somewhere that constantly reminds you that this is who you want to be. And once you know that, the next thing is to believe in yourself. Believe in your ability to make your dreams happen. See, you can do it. You're not too young and you're not too old. It's never too late. See, success is not about where you start. It's about refusing to stay where you are. So you can do it. Speak positivity into your life. Being a woman, it's an identity. It's not a limitation. Being married, marriage should give you the platform and the safe space to thrive. Having kids should not hold you down. Your kids should be inspiration. When you look back, let you be someone they'll be proud of. And once you believe in yourself, the next thing, which is the most important, is to never give up. See, life will test you. Things will happen, challenges would come. Your struggles, they can help shape you, but they should never define you. When I was 23, I decided to get a PhD. I was going to be a doctor at 26, and I thought, I was going to be the baddest. And I remember the first day of school. I woke up so early. I had packed my books the night before. I was ready to go. It was a Saturday morning. And in my usual style, I would check on my kids. And my son was sleeping peacefully. But my daughter, her temperature was hot, and she was heaving. So I and my husband, we rushed her to the hospital. But she didn't make it. I lost my baby on what was supposed to be the first day of school. And as I held her, the thoughts that came to me were, was I a bad mom? Did I miss something? Was I so focused on what I wanted that I missed what was happening at home? Were those people right? All those people that said I couldn't have it all, maybe they were right. See, all I knew at that point was that it was a sign from God. Go and focus on being a mom. So I dropped out of PhD. My dreams packed, sealed, and kept at aside. But you see, my family, my husband, he would always remind me that dropping out was not going to bring her back. And I have a son, and I needed to be somebody my son would be proud of. So I dragged myself. He convinced me. And this is why I tell people, marriage should not hold you down. Your marriage could be your stepping stone. My husband convinced me to go back. But see, by the time I was ready to go back, the semester was already almost over. I was working a full-time consulting company. So this was my schedule. I would wake up in the morning and go to work. Close around 4, sometimes sneak out and come home and check on my son. And then drive to school at 5 p.m. for lectures. Lectures that will last until 8. And once it was 8, everybody was rushing to get home. I wasn't. Where was I going to? I remember there were fuel queues at the time, and I would drive to the nearest fuel queue. Not because I needed fuel or gas. I would drive to that queue, and I would cry. I would cry for hours sometimes. But see, when I was done, I would wipe my face, and I would go home, and I would be a mom and a wife. And despite my sadness, despite my grief, I kept moving forward. And I made it. I got my PhD at 26, which I dedicated to my daughter. So today, I want to tell you, whatever your grief, whatever your pain, your sadness, your challenge, don't let it stop you. Channel it into determination to achieve, and you will achieve. See, life will test you, but it is your response that will write your story. So make your response good. And following up to that is to have a good support system. See, nobody should want to walk life alone. Have support systems, people who understand you, understand your dream, understand your capacity, and are willing to help you achieve it. When I was pregnant, my husband would drive me to meetings and wait for me. And when I was done, he would bring me back. My siblings, who are somewhere here, would drive my son to school and also bring him back. My mother and my mother-in-law, they would take turns helping me with food and house chores. And my friends, they would send me notes on days I wasn't able to go to school. This is the power of support system. Collectively, they help you achieve. But remember to also invest in those who invest in you so that they can also achieve. And your support system doesn't have to be huge. It could be few friends, few family members, your diary, your virtual personal assistant, but make sure you have them. And after that is mentors. And we've spoken so much today about mentors. I don't want to belabor the point, but you see your mentor, they're important. They've walked the path, they've made the mistakes, so you don't have to. And I want to say this today. Our parents may not always be the right mentors for us. Our parents love us. They are so emotional about us. So they want us to be stable. They don't encourage risks. But they do for others. Your mentor is that person that would have told you, don't take that accounting course. Go back and try again. Wait 1 more year. So have mentors. And finally, remember to pray. Pray to God to guide your path. And whatever your belief system is, prayer has been found to be a source of strength and resilience and support for people. So I ask you today, ladies and gentlemen, who says we can't have it all? And who should define what all means for us? Who should define what our future holds for us? Is it the society? Is it fear? Is it expectations? Or would you dare to define it for yourself? And remember, having it all doesn't mean having it easy. It means having people to support you, having your community supporting you. And it doesn't mean having it easy. It means standing tall when life tries to bend you. See, I stand before you not because I didn't have struggles, but I didn't let them define me. Today, I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a visionary. I'm a scholar. I'm a woman who chooses her path, and I walk it with a purpose. And you can too. Whatever your all is, you can. Just go out there, define your purpose, and believe in yourself. Have support systems and never give up. Have your mentor and pray. And when people, when society, when everyone says you can't, let your response be, watch me. Thank you.